The first rays of dawn pierce the pre-dawn gloom, painting the sky with hues of rose and gold. Long, dramatic shadows stretch across the breathtaking academy, carved majestically into the mountainside. Magical energy shimmers and dances around the academy's soaring spires and intricate archways, a living, breathing aura. Birds with feathers that glow like embers take flight, their ascent marking the mystical beginning of a new day. The sheer scale of the academy is awe-inspiring, a harmonious blend of ancient stone and advanced magical constructs. A testament to both history and innovation, the academy stands as a beacon of ethereal power, bathed in the new day's light. Hundreds of new students fill the grand hall, their faces a mixture of awe and trepidation as they take in their surroundings. Darius and Stephanie stand among the nervous crowd, their eyes wide with a shared sense of wonder and apprehension. Ruby, a stern but elegant woman with fiery red hair, steps to the podium, her presence commanding immediate respect. Her gaze sweeps over the sea of eager, anxious faces, her expression unyielding yet poised. The air crackles with anticipation as Ruby prepares to address the hushed, expectant assembly. Ruby, Rainbow, and Jacqueline gather around a holographic display, its ethereal glow casting an otherworldly light on their faces. Rainbow, graceful in her flowing blue robes, extends a finger, pointing to a student profile, a silent command in her gesture. Jacqueline adjusts her spectacles, a subtle flicker of concern betraying her usual composure, her gaze fixed on the glowing data. The air in the headmaster's office thickens with unspoken worries, a palpable tension hanging heavy around the holographic display. Their faces, illuminated by the cold light, reflect a shared burden, a silent understanding passing between them. Inside a Spartan yet comfortable dormitory, Darius begins to unpack his few belongings, a quiet sense of transition in the air. With tender care, he places a small, worn wooden carving onto his bedside table, a silent echo of home. The carving, a family memento, stands as a solitary sentinel in the new, unfamiliar space. Darius casts a lingering glance around the empty room, a flicker of loneliness clouding his eyes. The new room looms large, his solitude starkly evident against its clean, unadorned walls. In an unfamiliar dormitory, Stephanie's jaw is set in a defiant line as she heaves her bag onto a bed. She pointedly avoids the gaze of her new roommate, who attempts to make eye contact. Without a word, Stephanie immediately begins to personalize her space. She pulls out a small brush, her movements precise and deliberate. Meticulously, she paints an intricate, rebellious symbol onto the wall, claiming her territory. Sunlight dapples through the forest canopy as students push their limits in an intense physical training session. Bodies twist mid-air with surprising agility as students leap over shimmering magical barriers. Focused gestures conjure small flames and gusts of wind, demonstrating their mastery of elemental control. Energy constructs, glowing with internal power, dance and parry as students spar with invisible foes. Rainbow, a figure of calm authority, observes the proceedings, her movements fluid and precise. Her soft voice offers gentle corrections, a counterpoint to the sounds of strenuous exertion. In a secluded chamber, the massive glowing supercomputer Lolly hums with an ethereal, soft glow. Jacqueline's fingers dance across a complex interface, monitoring a cascade of data streams and surveillance feeds. Her intense gaze scans the screens, a focused intensity in her eyes, as she processes the incoming information. The screens display subtle, almost imperceptible anomalies in the magical energy readings, hinting at an unseen disturbance. The soft hum of Lolly fills the air, a constant reminder of the immense power under Jacqueline's careful watch. In a brightly lit classroom, Ruby commands attention, her hands animating complex equations and ancient runes. Students across the room struggle, their brows furrowed in a collective expression of confusion. Darius, a model of diligence, meticulously scribbles in his notebook, absorbing every word Ruby utters. In stark contrast, Stephanie's notebook is a canvas of whimsical doodles, her gaze lost in a distant reverie. The vibrant classroom hums with the stark differences in engagement, a silent symphony of learning and distraction. Darius sits alone by a shimmering fountain, his brow furrowed in deep concentration as evening descends upon the academy grounds. He extends his hand, attempting to conjure a simple light spell, his focus absolute. A small anemic spark sputters from his fingertips, only to quickly die, a flicker of failure in the fading light. Frustration briefly crosses Darius's face, yet a deep-seated, unyielding determination burns brightly in his eyes. As twilight deepens, Stephanie, cloaked in shadows, moves with raw power in a secluded grove, practicing a forbidden spell. Her movements are fluid and intense, yet a tremor of uncontrolled magic pulses through her. The air crackles around her as she channels ancient energies, her focus absolute. Unnoticed, a small, dark wisp of magic, like a phantom breath, slips from her grasp and vanishes into the gloom. Stephanie, oblivious, continues her spell, the forbidden power swirling around her, a dangerous secret in the fading light. The dining hall buzzes with a symphony of youthful laughter and chatter, hundreds of students filling the space with vibrant energy. Long tables overflow with students, distinct social clusters already forming, a microcosm of the world outside. In a quiet corner, Darius observes the boisterous scene, the weight of this new environment pressing heavily upon him. Darius sits apart, an undeniable outsider in the midst of the bustling, unfamiliar hall. In the dimly lit staff lounge, Jacqueline paces, her brow furrowed in deep concern as Ruby sips from a mug. Rainbow is engrossed in her tablet, the screen's glow illuminating her focused face amidst the soft lamplight. Jacqueline exclaims, "I'm telling you, Stephanie is a handful. Rebellious, disruptive. I'm not sure how much more I can take." Ruby, with a serene expression, gently reminds Jacqueline, "Patience, Jacqueline. Remember, every student has their own pace." Rainbow looks up from her tablet, nodding in agreement, and adds, "Ruby's right. We've all been there." In her chamber, Loli's fingers dance across a holographic display, a symphony of light and data unfolding before her. The display reveals a subtle yet persistent energy fluctuation, a digital pulse emanating from the ancient catacombs below. Jacqueline watches over Loli's shoulder, her gaze fixed on the anomaly, a silent observer of the unfolding mystery. Her brow furrows in concentration, a silent acknowledgement of the strange pattern, a shared understanding passing between them. The glowing energy signature pulses, a harbinger of untold secrets, stirring beneath the Academy's hallowed ground. Night falls over an ancient, overgrown entrance to catacombs, barely visible beneath a tangle of vines. The gnarled vines cling to crumbling stone, obscuring the hidden doorway like a forgotten secret. A faint, almost imperceptible glow emanates from deep within the shadowed abyss. The ethereal light hints at untold mysteries, beckoning from the ancient depths. The subtle luminescence promises untold secrets within the silent, waiting catacombs. Sunlight streams through high windows, illuminating dust motes dancing in the air of the ancient archives. Darius, surrounded by towering tomes, meticulously traces faded script, researching texts on magical creatures. His fingers pause on a cryptic passage, a sleeping giant, and the coming storm, capturing his complete attention. A deep furrow forms on Darius's brow, a silent testament to his intrigued curiosity. Sunlight spills into the classroom, illuminating dust motes dancing in the air, a silent testament to forgotten knowledge. Stephanie, a young student, sits intently at her desk, her brow furrowed with deep thought and burgeoning doubt. Ruby, regal and poised, stands before a chalkboard covered in arcane symbols, a pointer held with quiet authority. Stephanie challenges, "Professor Ruby, with all due respect, the official narrative of the Great Silence feels incomplete." Ruby counters, "While questioning is encouraged, we must first master what is known before we delve into speculation." Students surge through the magical obstacle course, a vibrant blur of motion and raw power. They leap over shimmering barriers, duck under arcane spells, their faces etched with fierce concentration. Darius, with newfound fluidity, expertly navigates a treacherous section, his determination a palpable force. Stephanie, with an almost disdainful ease, glides through the challenges, her raw power undeniable. Each obstacle yields effortlessly to her command, a testament to her inherent overwhelming magical might. Jacqueline's eyes narrow, fixed on a holographic map where a red spike of magic blazes near the catacombs. The spike directly correlates with Stephanie's uncontrolled spell, a chilling echo of raw, untamed power. Her gaze shifts, swiftly cross-referencing the volatile data with ancient historical records on a separate screen. A silent, intense focus consumes Jacqueline as she unravels the dangerous threads of magic and history. In the headmaster's office, Ruby stands stern and composed before a mahogany desk, an unspoken challenge crackling in the air. Stephanie, a flicker of defiance in her eyes, slouches casually, meeting Ruby's gaze with a smirk. Ruby's voice cuts through the tension. "Stephanie, your recent behavior has been disruptive, and your use of magic, unconventional." Stephanie retorts, "I'm just exploring, headmaster, finding my own path, as you always encourage us to do." Ruby warns, "Unchecked power can be dangerous, Stephanie." The academy grounds are cloaked in deep shadow, a lone gas lamp flickering, casting eerie light on ancient stone. Darius, unseen, presses himself against a weathered wall, his breath held captive in the cool night air. Two senior students, their faces obscured by the dim light, speak in hushed, urgent tones, their words carrying dread. Words like ancient guardians and breach in the wards drift through the night, sparking a flicker of alarm in Darius's eyes. In the dim dormitory, Darius scans the room with a nervous gaze, as if seeking an unseen presence. He leans in, whispering urgently to his roommate. "I've been hearing things, you know." Whispers about the old legends, about this place. Engrossed in a textbook, his roommate offers a dismissive wave, barely looking up from his studies. The roommate scoffs. "Relax, man. Just old legends. They're everywhere if you listen hard enough." In the dim chamber, Jacqueline hunches over a glowing data slate, her brow deeply furrowed in intense concentration. Fragmented data logs scroll across the screen, revealing cryptic hints of a dragon awakening centuries ago. The digital text flickers ominously, its unsettling rhythm mirroring current energy fluctuations she's been tracking. A chilling realization dawns upon Jacqueline, the flickering words aligning eerily with her dire observations. An icy shiver races down her spine, a silent premonition of impending danger in the shadowed chamber. In the staff meeting room, the air is thick with unspoken tension, a palpable unease hanging over the polished conference table. Ruby, Rainbow, and Jacqueline sit, their faces etched with varying degrees of concern and focus. Jacqueline stands, her hands gesturing emphatically as she unveils her findings on catacomb energy and ancient data. Rainbow leans forward, a spark igniting in her eyes, suggesting a bold, proactive approach to the looming challenge. Ruby, however, maintains an unyielding composure, her expression a mask of calm as she advocates for measured caution. The contrasting views create an invisible battleground, the room charged with the weight of their differing strategies. The academy grounds are a flurry of forced cheer, bright banners proclaiming Family Day with a brittle gaiety. Parents' smiles are thin, their eyes darting, a nervous energy crackling beneath the surface of polite greetings. Whispers ripple through the crowd, questions about safety and curriculum, an undercurrent of tension beneath the facade. Children's laughter echoes, oblivious to the palpable unease that clings to the air like an unseen shroud. Darius stands before his parents on the vast training grounds, the morning sun glinting off the cadet's polished armor. His mother's hand rests gently on his arm, her eyes a blend of pride and concern as she says, "We're so proud of your progress, Darius." His father's somber gaze sweeps the walled academy. But this academy, the secrecy, it worries us. Despite his confident posture, a knot of uncertainty tightens in Darius's stomach. "There's nothing to worry about," he adds. "I'm safe here, and I'm learning so much." But his own doubts echo, making his words hollow. The relentless sun glares down on the training grounds, baking the earth in its harsh light. Stephanie stands at the periphery, her eyes fixed on the joyous, laughing families scattered across the field. A stark emptiness surrounds her, her own parents conspicuously absent from the vibrant scene. A hardened, impenetrable mask slowly descends upon her features, a silent fortress against the pain within. This defense, a shield against the aching void of absence, etches itself onto her face, a testament to her solitude. In Loli's chamber, Jacqueline's brow furrows as she studies the console, her gaze fixed on a holographic display. Energy fluctuations on the display spike with alarming frequency and intensity. The chaotic surges suggest a powerful, unseen force, striving to break free from its confines. With urgent determination, Jacqueline rapidly inputs a new diagnostic sequence into the console. Stephanie, heart pounding, slips into the forbidden library section, fear and excitement battling within her. Sunlight streams through tall windows, illuminating dust motes dancing in the hallowed air of the ancient library. Her fingers glide over the spines of countless old tomes, a silent search for something hidden. She discovers it, a leather-bound book, its cover etched with snarling dragons and unsettling warnings. The book's ominous etchings hint at dark secrets as Stephanie's gaze lingers on its forbidden cover. With a profound sense of foreboding, she pulls the heavy book from the shelf, its weight significant in her hands. The academy courtyard buzzes with vibrant energy as students gather for a dazzling display of advanced magic. A student's spell shimmers erratically, its unstable glow threatening to erupt into chaos. From the sidelines, Ruby springs into action with breathtaking speed, a blur of motion. Her hands ignite with a powerful, controlled luminescence, radiating an intense protective light. With precise grace, Ruby deftly encircles the rogue magic, containing its volatile energy. The dangerous surge of magic is quelled, prevented from unleashing serious harm by her swift intervention. In the headmaster's office, Ruby and Rainbow sit, a palpable tension filling the air between them. Ruby, the headmaster, gestures vaguely, her face etched with deep worry as she speaks. She emphasizes, "The parents are getting restless, Rainbow. We need to maintain their trust." Rainbow leans forward, a thoughtful expression on her face, considering the dire situation. Rainbow counters, "Perhaps a more transparent approach is needed. We could explain the situation." Ruby, her brow furrowed, responds, "I fear revealing too much too soon. It could cause more panic." In the dormitory's dim light, Darius is hunched over his desk, surrounded by a chaotic sprawl of open books and scattered notes. His eyes dart across cryptic passages, a pen scratching furiously as he forges connections, his brow deeply furrowed. A palpable sense of intense concentration emanates from him, his focus unwavering amidst the disarray. The weight of a growing responsibility settles heavily on his shoulders, a silent burden in the quiet night. Under the cloak of night, Stephanie clutches an ancient book, her form a shadow against the academy grounds. Her eyes dart through the oppressive darkness, a desperate hunt for the hidden catacombs entrance. A whispered incantation escapes her lips, a spark of magic in the silent, watchful night. A shimmering orb of light materializes, illuminating her path forward, a beacon against the encroaching gloom. Stephanie steps into the catacombs, the air instantly chilling her skin with its damp embrace. Ancient carvings, their details eroded by the relentless march of time, line the rough-hewn walls. With each hesitant step deeper into the oppressive darkness, a palpable energy begins to stir around her. The air grows heavy, thick with the weight of centuries, as an ancient presence asserts itself. An unseen force presses in, making the stillness of the catacombs feel overwhelmingly powerful. Stephanie's breath catches. The growing presence is an undeniable ancient power in the suffocating quiet. Jacqueline's eyes narrow, detecting Stephanie's unauthorized entry into the catacombs. On Lolly's screens, alarms flash, painting the chamber in an urgent, pulsing red. Jacqueline's fingers fly across a console, her face illuminated by the crimson glow. An immediate alert is sent to Ruby and Rainbow, sealing the fate of the intruder. Stephanie navigates the catacombs, her breath misting in the frigid, oppressive air. She rounds a corner, her eyes widening in disbelief at the sight before her. A massive crystal pulsates with raw, ethereal magic, bathing the ancient stone in an otherworldly glow. Its vibrant light dances across the catacombs, revealing centuries of hidden secrets. Drawn by an irresistible force, Stephanie instinctively reaches out, her fingers trembling towards its luminous surface. In the deep catacombs, Stephanie's fingers delicately brush the cold, smooth crystal, a tremor of ancient power awakening. An unseen, potent ripple of energy surges from her touch, vibrating through the very foundations of the academy. Fine dust, disturbed by the sudden surge, drifts gracefully down from the high, shadowy ceiling, catching the faint light. A low, distant rumbling begins to echo through the vast, silent catacombs, a growing crescendo of sound. The ominous rumbling intensifies, growing louder with each passing second, a harbinger of untold forces stirring. Stephanie stands transfixed, surrounded by the escalating tremors and the dust-filled air as the ancient power awakens. A deep, ominous rumble echoes through the grand hall, shaking the very foundations of the students' slumber. Students jolt awake on makeshift cots, their eyes wide with raw, unadulterated fear. Magical lights flicker erratically, casting long, dancing shadows that deepen the pervasive sense of unease. Panic, a palpable entity, begins to spread like wildfire amongst the terrified students. Darius, his face etched with concern, moves through the growing chaos, a beacon of calm amidst the storm. At One Pearl Academy, protective wards pulse with strained energy against an unseen, malevolent force. The magical constructs, once unyielding, now visibly struggle, their luminous forms flickering erratically. A chilling sight unfolds as first one, then another, ominous cracked spiderwebs across the shimmering magical barriers. The Academy's defenses, once impenetrable, now threaten to shatter under the relentless, invisible assault. In the catacombs, ancient stone chills the air as Ruby, Rainbow, and Jacqueline arrive, their footsteps echoing ominously. Stephanie stands before them, her face pale, eyes wide with a haunting mix of fear and exhaustion. Ruby's jaw tightens with anger. A flicker of concern softens her gaze, a complex blend of emotions. Stephanie, overwhelmed, struggles to find words, the weight of her discovery pressing down upon her. The air crackles with unspoken tension as Stephanie prepares to reveal her terrifying find. In the catacombs, Rainbow's hands glow with ethereal energy, channeling power into a pulsating crystal. Her face is pale, a bead of sweat tracing a path down her temple, the immense effort clearly draining her. Jacqueline leans closer to the crystal, a humming device in her hand analyzing its energy signature. Her brow furrows in deep concentration, her gaze intense as she studies the mystical artifact. She nods slowly, a revelation dawning, and declares, "It's ancient, no doubt about it." Sunlight streams into the headmaster's office, illuminating dust motes dancing in the air as Ruby, Rainbow, and Jacqueline lean in, their expressions intense. Stephanie, disheveled but resolute, holds an ancient leather-bound book open on the grand oak desk, her finger tracing a worn illustration. Her eyes are fixed on the page as she reveals, "I've been poring over this all night." Stephanie's voice drops to a grave whisper. "The crystal. It's not just a power source." She reveals the shocking truth. This book connects it directly to the sleeping giants, the dragons. In Lolly's chamber, a shimmering crystal pulses, with an otherworldly glow, revealing ancient dragon formations swirling within. Jacqueline gestures toward the mystical crystal, her face etched with a serious, urgent expression. My gaze is fixed, captivated by the intricate, ethereal patterns dancing within the crystal's depths. Jacqueline's voice cuts through the silence. "This crystal is a containment device. Stephanie's touch has awakened something within it," she reveals, her words heavy with foreboding. The air in the staff meeting room is thick with an unbearable tension, a palpable dread hanging heavy over the assembled faces. Ruby, her expression grim and resolute, paces before her colleagues, her movements sharp with urgency. Her voice, firm and unwavering, cuts through the silence as she emphasizes the immediate, looming threat. She knows with a chilling certainty that they must prepare their students for the unimaginable horror that approaches. "We need to prepare the students," she declares, her words a stark command. The truth about the dragons, as terrifying as it is, must be revealed. Ruby, a figure of unwavering resolve, stands before the assembled student body, a silent harbinger of impending doom. Her voice, clear and resonant, speaks of ancient dragons, not as myth, but as a terrifying, present danger. A palpable wave of fear ripples through the students as her words sink in, disbelief etched onto their young faces. The revelation hangs heavy in the air, transforming their world from fantasy to a chilling reality. The training grounds hum with a nervous energy, a palpable tension hanging in the air. Darius stands, a knot of fear tightening in his stomach, yet a fierce determination ignites in his eyes. His gaze sweeps across the faces of his peers, searching for something, anything to quell his unease. He spots Stephanie, standing slightly apart, an island of stillness amidst the anxious crowd. Her expression is a silent enigma, her face a mask, revealing nothing of her thoughts or feelings. Darius finds himself drawn to her unreadable presence, a strange pull in the crackling atmosphere. On the sun-drenched training grounds, Stephanie's initial defiance begins to crumble, her posture softening. A subtle shift in her eyes reveals a dawning comprehension of the gravity of her past actions. Her brow furrows slightly, a faint flicker of regret crossing her features, almost imperceptible. The regret deepens, etching a momentary shadow on her face, as the weight of her choices settles in. Then, a spark of resolve ignites in her gaze, pushing past the regret, hardening her jaw. Her expression transforms, a fierce determination, replacing her former defensiveness, ready for a new path. A foreboding darkness descends upon One Pearl Academy, the sky itself twisting into a canvas of impending doom. Ominous clouds swirl violently above, charged with an unnatural, crackling, magical lightning. The air crackles with an unseen energy as the impending storm visibly gathers its terrifying might. A powerful, magical tempest looms, threatening to unleash its fury upon the academy below. An ominous hum fills Lolly's chamber, charged with an unseen, potent energy. Lolly, brow furrowed in fierce concentration, projects a shimmering countdown timer into the air. The relentless numbers tick down, casting an eerie, pulsating glow across the chamber walls. Each digit is a stark, chilling reminder of the escalating magical pressure on the Academy's fragile wards. Jacqueline, sweat beading on her forehead, works feverishly at a complex array of glowing runes. Her hands move with desperate speed, a frantic dance against time, as she tries to reinforce the failing defenses. In the Grand Hall, students and faculty move with grim purpose, preparing for an imminent battle, their faces set with resolve. The air crackles with an electric tension, a palpable sense of anticipation hanging heavy over the assembled crowd. Ruby, Rainbow, and Jacqueline stand shoulder to shoulder, their expressions grim yet unwavering, a silent pact of courage. Each movement is deliberate, a silent choreography of readiness as they brace for the conflict ahead. A collective breath is held, the grand hall echoing with the unspoken weight of the impending confrontation. Their eyes, though grim, burn with an unyielding resolve, a defiant spark against the looming threat. The sky above One Pearl Academy darkens ominously, bruised clouds swirling with a terrifying intensity. A thunderous crack echoes through the air, a prelude to the impending storm that looms large. Within the turbulent, bruised clouds, a massive, shadowy form briefly coalesces, hinting at ancient power. The colossal shape reveals the true, terrifying scale of the ancient dragons, a monstrous silhouette against the angry sky. Below, One Pearl Academy braces for impact, a collective tension palpable as dread washes over the grounds.